Saudi Arabia, long considered America's closest Arab ally, seems to be looking beyond the United States for its defense needs. Riyadh is eyeing Turkish jets as it looks to bolster its defenses amid the constantly evolving geopolitical scenario in the Middle East. In this episode of Hindustan Times In Depth, we ask some very important questions. Why is Saudi Arabia looking at Turkey for its defense needs? Is the US losing its biggest Arab ally to NATO outlier Turkey? What role is Israel playing in complicating ties between the US and Saudi Arabia? Will Saudi and US ties improve under Trump 2.0? The plan to purchase up to 100 TF Kaan jets from Turkey is not a one-off case. In 2023, Saudi ordered Turkish Bayraktar Akinci drones in a deal described as the biggest defense and aviation export contract in the history of Turkey. Now, this begs the question, why is Saudi Arabia eyeing Turkish jets? For one, Riyadh is clearly frustrated with negotiations with the US for purchase of American F-35 jets. Saudi Arabia first expressed interest in acquiring F-35 jets in 2017, but America has been non-committal to say the least. Bitter experiences of its neighbors like the UAE have also contributed to Riyadh's decision to look beyond the US. Remember, the Trump administration signed a multi-billion-dollar deal with the UAE for F-35s in 2021. However, the UAE suspended talks over concerns with the Biden administration's terms, basically saying the jets would come with too many strings attached. The second reason is Saudi Arabia's attempt to reduce its reliance on the US for its defense needs. Riyadh has aggressively pursued the diversification strategy in recent years, particularly as bilateral relations between Saudi Arabia and Washington cooled under former
During Biden's tenure, Saudi Arabia strengthened its defense and forged ties with the US's adversaries, China and Russia, acquiring various weapon systems from these countries.
Recently, Defense Security Asia reported that Saudi Arabia secretly spent $2.3 billion to acquire 39 units of Russia's Pantsir S-1M air defense systems. But these aren't all. There is another big factor preventing the US from selling the advanced aircraft to Saudi, and that is Israel. Some reports say one key factor preventing the US from selling F-35 jets to Saudi Arabia is Israel. Tel Aviv is reportedly concerned that it will lose its qualitative military edge over its regional neighbors if Saudi Arabia gets the advanced aircraft. Reports say Israel strongly protested the proposed sale of 50 F-35 jets to the UAE in 2020 and has been voicing its opposition to Saudi Arabia's F-35 aspirations. This concern over maintaining QME has also led Israel to object to the sale of long-range air-to-air missiles like the AIM-120 AMRAAM and Meteor to Egypt and other nations operating F-16 and Rafale fighters. Saudi Arabia has reportedly also been subjected to many conditions before it could be given the green light to purchase the high-tech jets. Among these conditions are recognizing the existence of Israel and establishing diplomatic ties with Tel Aviv. The recently exited Biden government played a major role in scuttling ties with Saudi Arabia. Biden, in the initial days of his presidency, said he wanted to make Mohammed bin Salman a pariah for the government's alleged involvement in the killing of US-Saudi journalist Jamal Khashoggi. Biden did visit Saudi Arabia in July of 2022, where he was seen giving MBS a fist bump. But any speculation about a thaw was actually put to rest 3 months later when MBS publicly snubbed when the OPEC Plus decided to cut oil production by 2 million barrels a day, which raised US gas prices. Donald Trump, who recently returned to the White House with an emphatic victory, on the other hand, seems keen to fix relations with MBS. This was made clear when Trump dialed MBS in what was his first call to a foreign leader in his second term as the President of the United States. During the call, the Crown Prince told Trump he would invest $600 billion in the US over 4 years. This is according to a readout provided by the Saudi government. The US president, in a video address to the World Economic Forum, called MBS a fantastic guy and made his demands clear.
Saudi Arabia will be investing at least $600 billion in America, but I'll be asking the Crown Prince, who's a fantastic guy, to round it out to around $1 trillion. I think they'll do that because we've been very good to them. And I'm also going to ask Saudi Arabia and OPEC to bring down the cost of oil. You got to bring it down.
So can Donald Trump win over Arab allies who were alienated during the Biden era? Or will the US continue to lose space to Turkey, Russia and China in the Middle East? We'll have to wait and watch.